Hello, in this video we'll talk about loops in general. Modern computers are very fast. They can actually perform millions, maybe even billions of instructions in a second. With all the things that we learned so far with the if statement, the print, and the input, the program will be able to finish the task very quick. Okay, and we probably noticed that when you run a program, even if the program has multiple functions, the program gives you the results right away. Okay, but this is actually not very practical way of writing programs. Computer nowadays, all of them, they run in loops, and you are currently using your computer running so many loops right now going on. Okay, think about it this way. When you open the word processor, Microsoft Word, for example, and you start typing, when you type, your program is going to display whatever you typed. Before you type, the program actually is inside a loop waiting for you to do some type of actions. If the program does not run a loop as you are using, for example, Microsoft Word, the program is going to start and finish right away. You can't even see it because the computers right now, they're very fast. It's not only because they're fast. Without having a loop, the program is not going to be useful. Okay, so to keep the computers very useful, we need to run some type of looping. Okay, and this loop is going to be in the background. There's so many different useful ways to use loops, but let's take a look at some examples based on the things that we learned so far. If I give you an example and I ask you to print out the hello world 5 times, you're probably going to say it's very simple. I can just print hello 5 times, as you see over here in this example, and the result is going to be 5 times. But what if I make it a little bit more complicated? If I tell you that ask the user how many times they want to print hello world. So in this case, you cannot guess what the user is going to type. So is he going to type 5, 6, 7? So you don't know. So having it in this way, hard-coded, is not going to be very useful. Let's take a look at other type of problems over here. Okay, so what if I'm trying to ask the user to input a number, and then my program is going to print out all the numbers below that, decrement by 1 all the way until 0. Okay, so you can probably say that, okay, I'm going to ask the user for a number, but then I'm going to decrement this number by 1, then by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5, and every time I'm going to print it out. Yes, that will work if the user entered number 5. If the user entered number 5, your program is going to run all the way to 0. But what if the user entered 7, for example? In this case over here, your program is going to just go 5 times, and it's not going to reach to 0. It's going to reach to 2. That's not going to work. So is there another way to solve this problem and make the program, for example, in this case, to print out from 6 all the way to 0? Well, based on the things that we learned so far, there's nothing we can do it this way, but we're going to learn something new, which is the loops, which will help us to do that. In Python, there is before we come to the Python, but let's take a look at the structure, what we mean by the loop. So the program is going to start from here, as usual. Then the program is going to continue running until we come to a condition. Very similar to, if you remember when we talked about the if statement, we have a condition. If the result of this condition is true, you will take the branch. Okay, but in the loops, yes, if the condition is true, you will take the branch, and then you execute a block of code or statements, and then you will go back again to the same condition and test it again. If it's still true, you will repeat the loop. And then you go back again to the condition. You keep doing that until when you test the condition gives you false. Once it gives you false, you will exit the loop, so you're not going to execute this part, and then you're going to continue the rest of the program. So this is the loop structure or the flowchart of the loop in general. Okay. In Python, there is 2 different types of loops. We have the while loop and we have the for loop. First, in this module, we're going to focus on the while loop and how it works. And then in the next module, we'll talk about the for loops.